All right. So, do you want to do part 3 of
Oh, shit.
containment?
I don't think I can contain myself, the excitement that I feel.
Because apparently you found
Hmm?
her follow-up.
Oh,
What every woman should know about men. Like, oh,
you
yeah, I
did,
apologize. She
did you
does have a
watch it?
video. No, come on. Why?
Okay.
Why would it? Why would
'Cause-
I? Why would I ruin the mood?
Well, because neither did
great.
I,
Oh
is
wow.
the reason I asked. I just happened to see it. So, okay.
What?
So in the last time we did this, I said I would watch the rest of that video. I didn't.
Why would you?
but, but I did go back to find out the names of the episodes that she mentioned to watch. So let's find out what this one is.
Okay. Let's begin. Let's see how good this goes. Notice how it's like 4 minutes less than what men should know about women.
Is this just going to turn into a Steel Swan reaction video? A Steel Swan? What was her name? Teal Swan.
Oh.
I don't need to bombard you with cultural stories or sayings. You already know that a major rift in understanding exists between the sexes.
Yep.
Seeing as how I've already done a video, which you seem to like, called What Every Man Should Know.
Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. I just fucking can't. I just
What you?
I tried.
But you
I
seemed,
fucking tried. I
seemed
really
to like,
tried.
But you seemed to like her last video.
I did. I couldn't. I
No,
tried.
go back. She
I
said you
I
seemed,
tried. It's
you
gone.
seemed
I
like-
couldn't. I just can't. I can't.
Really?
Just a stupid laugh of hers. Just like I did. No.
All right.
It's like
next video, I'm forcing you to watch it.
I just fucking hell. But I do have something else to bring up, which I'm kind of conflicted because while it's funny, it's kind of cringy and it's kind of like,
having a really hard day and trying to get ready.
That women tend to be happier when they are single.
I could have married a lot of the people that I've dated.
Okay, I turned 40 this year, and I've never been in love. I've never been in a relationship.
ouch.
But
Like,
here's the thing. I could have married a lot of the women that I dated, and I quote unquote missed out. And I feel great about it. Like I think it's the best decision I've ever made.
Exactly. That's just like, it's so hard watching this. It's like, I mean, are you like doing something else with your life? Like, there's got to be something more. But I mean,
not for women, apparently.
Here's something or an update about your ex, and it just kills you.
Women tend to be happier when they are single.
I mean,
Struggling financially,
or not.
being alone, having no one there to talk to as you age, no kids.
And I always thought I would.
Okay, well,
Dude,
get a cat. Join, like,
no, you don't understand.
what?
She just described paradise.
I
to
know, right?
me. That's
Nobody to annoy you, nobody to harass you, ruin your peace. You're watching a good movie or playing a video game,
Oh
or you
my
get a
God.
nice good jerk, and you just
But men and women are the same. You know, that's what the people like to say, right? Men and women are the same. No, they're not. Because what they just described is paradise. Absolute paradise. I have no kids. I'm not married. I have the house to myself. Full
I don't have to
control
deal
over
with
the remote.
anybody's shit.
I can jerk
Anybody's
off to whatever I want.
whining. I can take a shower whenever I want. I can work out whenever I want. I can eat whenever I want. If I want to fucking go at 3 a.m. and get fucking ice cream, I'm gonna get me some fucking Ben and Jerry's fucking raspberry shortcake fucking ice cream.
And if
I'm
I
gonna
want
eat it
to,
all.
if I want to play a video game 48 hours straight, there's nobody standing
Yes!
in front of the TV saying,
Oh my god!
"Don't you want to spend time with the children?"
Why don't you stop playing that game and go outside? Because fucking people are outside, and I hate people. Like this that's funny because that was the point I was gonna bring up, and you just fucking went, nope, that's my point. I'm taking it.
I'm sorry,
you asshole. No, about what they're saying.
that's
sounds
every
like
dude's point.
paradise.
That's every dude's point.
It's-
Every dude. If this was
They're crying.
okay,
I'm like,
okay, dude, we got to do this. We got to do this.
uh-oh.
We have to make the opposite of this video. We have to make the dude's version. We'll use the exact same words that they use, only with the big grin on our face.
I don't have any kids. It's
back.
fucking wonderful.
Dude, go back, rewind, go to the beginning.
Okay.
Real quick.
Okay. Oh, look at that. It's got the controls right on here. Cool.
Okay.
I'm
Go to the
having a
beginning.
really hard day. Trying to get ready.
That women
Oh, okay, that's not going to work. But
tend to be happier when they are single.
I could have married a lot of the people that I've dated.
Okay, stop
Okay, I
there. Ready?
Okay.
I could have married a lot of the women that I dated, but I fucking didn't. And it's amazing.
Oh, dude, this is amazing. This is a great idea. Oh, this is beautiful.
You
Hold on,
do the
hold on.
I'll
I'll
do
do
the
the
next
next
one.
Okay, I turned 40 this year, and I've never been in love. I've never been in a relationship.
If you hear
Okay, I turned 40 this year. I've never been in love. I've never been in a relationship. It's fucking awesome.
Oh my God.
Oh,
It's such a different perspective.
seriously.
Oh my
Well, where was
God.
that
dude.
one? Where's that one lady? Or did we do it already?
something or an update about your ex and it just kills you.
Women tend to be happier when
Okay,
they are
well,
single.
stop there.
Struggling.
Stop there. And then you see something like on Facebook or Twitter and an update on your ex, and you see how fat the bitch got. And you're like, thank you, Christ. Thank you.
Oh,
There is
yes.
a God.
What? Oh, I think this was the what? This was the
Okay,
what? This
go
is
ahead.
what? Hold on,
This is
hold on,
yours.
hold
Go
on.
ahead.
Fucking come on. Oh, these controls.
Are single.
Struggling financially, being alone, having no one there to talk to as you age, no kids.
And I always thought
I'm not struggling financially. You know why? Because I got no kids. I got nobody to take my money. No kids, no nothing, no struggles. It's fucking great.
Okay, next.
Age, no kids.
and I always thought I would have kids. I thought I would be married by now. And now the closer I get to it, and I'm scared. I don't know.
Okay. I always had nightmares that I would have kids. and now that I don't, and I think about it, I'm in heaven. I'm actually tearing up crying. I get as much tears in my eyes as she does, but for the complete opposite reason.
Oh my God,
my
that's
God.
just classic.
Scared. I don't know.
I didn't think it would be an issue. I'm 32 years old.
I don't care. It's an issue. I'm going to be 50. It's not an issue. This is wonderful. It's not.
I'm almost 50, and I've avoided it all. I dodged every bullet, every pregnancy scare.
Oh my God.
I no longer get my car keyed.
Holy fuck. That
Oh
is
my God, dude.
hilarious.
I'm 53. I would like to think that I'm still young.
Oh my God. I'm 53. I'm just going to be 50, 49. I'm going to be 50 later on this year. I'm not young. I'm old. And you know what? Growing up, people used to say, oh, don't grow old. Don't grow. Growing old sucks. It sucks growing old. I don't know what any of these motherfuckers are talking about. Getting older is fucking awesome. All right. Like I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. I can pay and get without kids, I can buy whatever I want. I can just buy shit just for the sake of buying shit. Sometimes I'm struggling to find shit to buy because I got nothing else to buy.
I buy action figures, and they stay in the box, and no one touches them.
They don't get broken and
There's
thrown
no
on the ground.
There's no peanut butter on my tools. It's amazing. We should do we should do the other video of the opposite of this, where married people are talking about it,
Oh,
and you
Jesus
have the
Christ.
woman going, "Yeah, I sit around the house and I yell at my husband and he does what I want." And then you have the guy going, "I work 60 hours a week. I come home and all she does is bitch. And then I got the kids. I got to go to this little fucker's baseball game. The fucker can't even play."
I have to sit working 6 hours. Just want to come home, relax, sit in front of the TV and veg. Nope, we got to go to Chuck E. Cheese. We got to go to drive to grandma's house because we got to show off the kids. They want to see the kids. 9-hour drive. Lucky me. And guess what? I'm the one that's got to drive.
I have to raise this fucker. I have to treat him like a fucking king, like a prince, just so he could grow up and be a teenager and
wait,
want to
wait.
fight me.
Did you see that shit about that
What?
judge who all right, let me see if I can find this shit was brutal.
Jesus.
No, I hate when they show other people's reactions and not the video itself. Like,
Yeah, I know. That's a pain in the ass.
I'm not gonna waste my time with this shit.
I
Basically,
was just
some
going to stay
judge.
quiet, assuming you were going to cut it out until you got to it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Fuck it. Basically, a judge found out that after 40 years, he finds out his kids aren't his.
Yeah.
After raising these fuckers for 40 years, because I think it was that his brother needed like a organ transplant or something. And so he's like, hey, you two check to see if you can, if you're a match. And through that, they found out, yeah, these kids aren't yours.
Yeah.
And the sick part is, all right, any dude that finds out that after 40 years your kids aren't his, that's like a punch in the gut. All right. But there are people like, well, you raised them. They're your kids anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, man.
Dude, there was, you never watched Orange is the New Black, right?
Dude, I do.
Okay. I get it. I get why you wouldn't watch it. However, I don't know what it is about me. I love prison movies and stuff like that. And this was all about a women's prison. So it was just like a different perspective. But anyway, the warden, I think he was the warden. He wasn't the warden. He was like the guy under the warden, the one that's actually running the prison. Okay. They show his backstory. And here's his backstory.
Oh no.
He was in a garage band. He was like the lead guitarist in a garage band. Okay. He's in love with this girl who's dating the lead singer. The lead singer gets her pregnant. He winds up dating her. So the lead singer, as soon as she's pregnant, he's like, fuck, I'm out. So he winds up dating her and raising that child. He quits the band, becomes a corrections officer.
Wait,
okay.
hang on.
In order to raise the child.
Hang on. Please tell me the band becomes like huge.
The band becomes big. The band becomes big. And years later, now the kid's like 10, 11, whatever. He finds out that she's cheating on him with the singer of the band.
Of course she is.
It was supposed to be like a sad part in the show, and I was just
laughing our balls off. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That poor motherfucker.
Seriously. God.
So she used him in order to raise the child and to get and then was still fucking the lead singer who had zero responsibility because he left before the kid. I mean, he found out beforehand and he still raised the kid. I realize that's a fictional story, but I can't tell you how many stories. I can't tell you how many stories I know of in real life that are exactly like that.
I've heard real stories. Like one story was pretty much along the same lines, but when the kid was 10 years old, I don't know if the woman went back to the original father or went with somebody else and pretty much took the kid and was just like, piss off. You're not the father, even though the man raised the kid from birth to 10 years old or whatever. I forget what age the kid was when she decided to run off with another dude. And she's just like, piss off, get your own kid. Like, wow, man. That's some like, you start, I give it to them, that dude that, he took care of that kid.
Yeah.
And so on. But damn, that's some No, no, I'm not
Good.
raising somebody else's kid. No,
Ugh.
I don't. Would you? I a dumb
Dude.
question.
Okay. So I've told you this, that I won't even say where and when, but I've told you that um how can I'm worried that people that know us or might eventually hear this, and someone might know who I'm talking about or what. But we'll just put it this way. I'm sitting in my car. A chick we know that we've never really talked to, because anyway, comes up to my car, and it's obvious that there's no reason for her to come to my car, right?
Mhm.
There's no reason for her to walk. It was deliberate to like kind of introduce herself. So she comes up to my car, starts talking to me. And at first I'm like, yeah, the chick starts talking to you. Immediately your dick's like, okay. So in the middle of the conversation, at some point, like I'm just having a regular conversation with her. And I don't know why she thought this was a good idea. She was driving an SUV. By the way, she pulled up and parked right next to me. Got out of the SUV, came around, and for some reason the topic of her SUV came up, and I don't know what we were talking about. We kind of went back and forth, and she goes, "Yeah, I needed to get the SUV. I have 3 kids." And I don't know from her perspective, but thinking back on it later, I'm pretty sure I went, "Okay, see you later."
I
Like,
can just
what
imagine your face going from like, "Oh,
dude?
hey, how you doing?" to, "Ugh."
Dude, I don't know. I will say this, I seen her later on, and it was like, you know, all of a sudden, I'm getting the cold shoulder. So
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
I must have had a "I just smelled something" look on my face. And the dude, I understand that women get pissed at dudes when they're like this, that they if a woman has kids, where
I
dudes don't wanna
don't
raise
care.
other people's kids.
I don't care. Like,
Here's the thing, if I wanted kids, I'd have kids. I don't have kids because I don't want kids. I told you in the last episode, I not only use a condom, I use the pull-out method with the condom because I don't want any fucking slip-ups.
yeah, no.
Ugh,
And just the statistics on the amount of men that don't know they're raising somebody else's kid is just like, oof, man.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to know about this.
Yeah.
And you ever see that movie? What was it with Robin Williams, Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yeah.
I'm watching this movie like now. Pierce Brosnan is supposed to be this billionaire. All right.
Mhm.
I mean, this is a guy that played Remington Steele, and James Bond, Mr.
Yeah.
Smooth and suave and everything.
Mhm.
And no offense to Sally Field, but come on. You think this dude who's worth billions is gonna settle for Sally Field with her 3
Look,
kids with some other dude
Sally
like
Field in the Smokey and the Bandit days, maybe.
with 3 kids?
Well, she
Thank
didn't
you.
have kids
Okay.
back then. But yeah, Sally Field was hot when she was hanging around with Burt Reynolds. But anyway, I don't know. Yeah, you can't ask a dude to raise another dude's kids. It's just not, especially if you're talking about young kids. Look, at our age, it's possible we might meet a woman with grown kids. That's fine. We don't have to fucking raise them. You know what I mean? To have a guy go from completely single, whatever money he's pulling in is his own, to all of a sudden I have to pay for baseball equipment for some kid who doesn't even want to play baseball. He's just doing it because all his friends are doing it, and it's not even my kid. It's just,
And
I'm
you know what you'll
sorry,
be
it's a
called? You'll be
turnoff.
called we'll be called
Well,
selfish and we're disgusting.
I don't
And
think so. I don't think so. Because the bottom line, dude, is I'm pretty sure, based on how it happened, I know she was interested. So the bottom line is, I could have played the game, fucked her, and then took the fuck off. So to me, that's more of a piece of shit move than what I did, which saved us both a lot of time.
but this was at a place of employment, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, yeah. No, I
Yeah,
never,
that's the other thing. Yeah,
never
that's the other thing.
mess
Yeah,
around with people that you work with because
dude,
it never ends well.
dude,
Don't shit where you eat.
dude, I've had not even as a romantic thing, but a chick wanting to tell me something in secret and be like, "Come here, come here, come here," and wanting to pull me into like a corner or a little room to tell me so. This is at work. I'm sorry because I don't want to hear that fucking I
Mhm.
did this and that and I touched you or no. I'm staying right in the middle of this room where the cameras are.
Oh, dude, when we started working from home, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. Now I
Yeah,
don't have to worry
yeah,
about stuff. I
true.
have to worry about anything. I have to worry about because well, I don't care. This happened. I don't- I know well, obviously you worked there after
Mhm.
me, but I think that was the time you were like really sick with your ass monster.
Uh-huh.
I think you weren't in the office,
Okay.
but there was a time when females were coming up to my desk and giving me
Yep.
a lot of shit.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
okay.
just for no reason, just giving me shit. And our supervisor sent out a company-wide email. If you need to speak to somebody under my team, you speak to me directly. Do
Yeah.
not go to the to person himself. And when we had a team meeting, everybody was like, "What in the hell?" And he was like, "In all my years of working, I've never had to send an email like that." And I'm just like, look, I just sit here and do my job. And he's like, I know, we can see it because our office is just a big open area. So they
Yeah.
can see everything. They see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, thank God I'm working from home because now I don't have to deal with this
Yeah.
nonsense anymore.
Yeah.
It was infuriating.
Yeah. Because now they're forced to do exactly. And it's by the way, this doesn't just go for females, that because there's some dudes that we've worked with at previous jobs when they're forced to do it through IM and through email. Good, because by the way, first of all, they're professional. Second of all, they keep it strictly to the
Mhm.
work that we're talking about. And anyway, I just don't like dealing with people in general.
Seriously.
I mean,
That's not
and by the
as
way,
I get
you
older, I'm alone. Oh no, it's so awesome.
yeah,
It's so awesome not having to deal with people's
I know.
nonsense.
And dude, you know me from a few different jobs now. Like at work, at time for a long time, I was a little social butterfly at
Yeah.
work. I mean, I don't know why, but that's just the way I was. That's the way I did. Like I was the dude talking to everybody. Eh,
Because we thought that's what we're supposed to do. This
I
is what we're
guess.
so we can be sociable and
Yeah,
rise up the corporate ladder and all
yeah,
that nonsense
yeah.
about
All the
being
managers knew
everybody's
me, and
friends
yep,
and going
yep,
out to dinner with everybody, going out to
yep, yep,
lunch
yep,
with everybody, and hanging out. We're all big, one happy
yep.
family. Yeah,
I did the whole. I did
un-
all of that. I
until
did all of that.
until you suspend us for or cut our pay or get rid
Yeah,
of the positions that we earned.
yeah. That.
Now you can go fuck yourself. Now it's all about no, I'm
Yeah,
it's all about me. I'm
yeah,
only worrying about me at this
yeah.
place.
And
Come
it's by
in,
the
do
way,
my job, get the fuck out. I'm not
it's
here to
that
make friends
last
anymore.
job that did it to me because
Oh yeah.
because entering into the one we're in now, I mean, even when I was in the office, did you see me leave my desk?
No.
What at the place before that, I was barely ever at my desk. I was all over the place, fucking making friends and all kinds of. Now it's just straight business. Now and now that I'm working from home, it's just all straight business, and I fucking love it.
Well, let's be real. And I just had this epiphany. Well, it's not epiphany, it's one of my shower thought bullshits.
Okay.
Corporate world, the corporate world
Yeah.
has completely destroyed men.
Mhm,
Completely destroyed men completely.
mhm.
Okay? Because when you're in the office, you can't say certain things. You have to speak a certain way. You have to
Yeah.
tap dance and tiptoe. And you can't say that thing about that person. And you can't say that. Who can do that? I would lose my fuck.
Dude,
Fuckity fuck, pussy cunt snatch, pussy cunt. Couldn't say that at work when we're
dude,
at work. We get thrown into HR and get tossed. How can you do that?
dude, it's
Like,
so much worse than that. You
well,
could be sitting
But
minding you go
but
ahead.
wait. And you do that for 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a day, 60, 90, 80 hours a week. That becomes who you are.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
can't say anything offensive,
Yeah.
can't stand up for yourself. Don't gotta send a nice email, gotta be sensitive. When sometimes you just have to go, motherfucker, fuck you and fuck your bullshit and all that crap.
Yeah.
That has just emasculate I'm serious, the corporate world. Because I mean,
Yeah.
think about how long has the corporate world actually been around? You
Mhm.
know, before, let's say in the 40s, or well, I guess say in the 20s and so on. But it was mostly dudes working in the corporate offices and so on. So you could still be a dude acting like a dude and talking
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
dude.
yeah, yeah.
It wasn't, and I'm not trying to be disparaging against women, but when women started coming into the workplace and they see, obviously how women are, you
This
can't,
is so
you
bad.
did you just say cut pussy fuck? You can't. So what do they have to do? Had to create an HR.
Dude.
And HR sits there and it's like, no, 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 you can't be saying that. And
But dude,
now,
now the dudes are reporting each other.
yes,
It's fucking
because
crazy.
they get that superior. It's like, I
Dude,
turned
you
you
could be
in.
sitting at your desk. I've had situations. You could be okay. I'm gonna give you a hypothetical, but then I'll give you a real situation, which is not so much about the corporate world. It's just about people in general. But you could be hypothetically sitting at your desk, and one person, you're just minding your own fucking business, and one person says some fucking fucked up shit to one other person, and there's an issue. But because it happened in front of your desk, they're screaming over you or saying shit over your desk. Now you're pulled into a fucking meeting to talk about what you heard.
Or
I
how
don't know
about
about
this
you,
one?
but at
How,
that point, I claim hysterical deafness.
how
Sorry,
about
what
how about
happened?
this one? How about this one? Somebody says some fucked up shit and you laugh.
Oh
I thought it
yeah,
was funny.
dude.
That was funny. And he laughed. HR, he laughed at that joke. It's like, oh my
Oh,
God, man.
yeah. Dude, and the real world situation, which doesn't have to do with corporate office, it's just about two dudes. For whatever reason, okay, so two dudes are fighting with each other, so they don't like each other, whatever. This is actually at work, but it wasn't actually about work and didn't go to HR. But two dudes don't like each other, whatever. Dude comes up to me, what bullshitting. He says something about other dude. Okay. I'm just sitting there. I don't say a word. I don't even laugh at his joke. Don't do anything. Later on, because dude next to me heard it, went and sent it to him because this is a fucking gossip column. We can
Oh
do because we're in a
boy.
fucking beauty parlor right now. And the next thing you know, I'm getting bitched out by the dude because I was there when it was said and I didn't say anything to him.
Because you didn't fight for me? You didn't say anything
Dude,
back to him for me?
it's not my job. It's not my
Seriously.
job. It's not my
This
job.
is not my problem, man. This is a you and him problem. Don't take it
Exactly.
out of me.
Exactly. All I did was sit there. All I did, I wasn't even participating in the conversation, but I'm supposed to now. No, no, no. Here's the bottom line. Both of you fend for your fucking selves. I'm not involved. Not only that, I was friends with you before this. I don't
Now,
give a fuck about you no more. I don't want to know you
mhm.
because you're going to bring this shit into my life when all I did was sit there. All I
Seriously.
was doing was sitting there. And now all of a sudden I'm caught up in this. Fuck you. Fuck both of you.
It's like, don't bring your bullshit over here.
Oh,
Like,
and
don't
these are
drag me
these
into
are
your shit.
dudes.
Seriously. But that's what I'm saying. The corporate world
Yeah.
has emasculated men. And people wonder, it's like, why don't men stand up for themselves anymore? Because they've been beaten down in the corporate world to
Yeah.
just, you can't say anything offensive. You can't stand up for yourself, because when a supervisor starts yelling at you and cursing you out, you're just supposed to
Oh,
go, yes, sir. Okay, sir. I want, because then if you say anything back, they'll write you up or
yeah.
suspend you.
Yeah.
And for you and me, we'd be like, fuck you, eat my ass, and walk the fuck out. But
Mhm.
obviously for dudes that have kids and families and mortgage payments, they can't do that. They
Yeah.
need their jobs.
Mhm.
So
Dude, yeah, I can't
congratulations,
tell you.
corporate America. They got
That's
they got what they wanted.
yeah. But that's the thing that runs through my head every time. Whenever like you get bitched out by a supervisor, and the thing that runs through my head is I can't say anything back to you. So this is you just taking the opportunity to because you probably can't get a word in edgewise at home to just take it out on an employee because he can't retaliate. So immediately I just see a giant pussy in front of me as this is happening. Just okay.
Especially if it's something's like, is this really that big of a deal?
No, it's not.
Like there has been nothing in any job
No.
that we have worked in
No.
where it's been that big of a fucking deal that you need to lose your mind like this for.
No.
I mean, we work in the technology field. Shit goes down, it goes down. Like people aren't gonna die from it.
Nope.
That's why there's backups. That's why there's, you have the main internet service or the main phone service, and then you have a backup service. That's the whole point of it. You freaking out and losing your mind is not going to get the shit up any quicker.
Yeah.
Like there was no point. I can understand if lives were on the line, that people were going to die or people have died or, somebody's going to bleed out. That's not the case here.
Dude.
Calm your tits.
What about the managers? And we both ran into these guys. The guys that look for trouble, the guys that look for something to buy. Dude, I was a manager. Okay. Granted, I wasn't, wasn't for a long time. I wasn't with, I don't know if you have to be a manager for over 10 years before you start to turn into this douche. All I could tell you is if nothing was going on, I was happy as fuck. I was happy as a pig in punch. I just fucking, but there's these dudes. And I told you the one dude who was my manager that was screen sharing my screen, looking for something to get me in trouble for. On his last day, he was leaving for another job. On his last day, he's looking for something.
I think that's the only way they can, because they have no control at home. Their wives tell them what to do. They have not, hey, wifey, I want to shut the fuck up. You go to work, you sit down, you shut up. And you go to sleep, and you get up and you go to work, and that's it.
Dude,
I guarantee you.
My last day as a manager at the
wait, was that line from the Pink Floyd song? Their fat and psychopathic wives thrashed them within inches of their lives.
My last day of that job, the job, 2 jobs before this, you know which one I'm talking about, where I was a manager. When I was on my 2 weeks notice going to the next job, dude, first of all, I worked the night shift. I was the night manager.
Oh boy.
So first of all, I'm not doing any fucking work. I'm leaving this place. I don't give a fuck about the metrics. I don't care about any of the bullshit. I'm still putting the stuff in and doing the stuff I have to do because you wanted them to be a recommendation later on or whatever.
Bare minimum.
But dude, at one point, I think it was, what holiday was it? Oh, I think it was New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Because when we left that place and started the other place, it was the beginning of the year.
Yeah. So New Year's Eve, and
which real quick, I always find fucking horse shit that we had to work New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve. Like,
yeah, I know.
Really,
I know.
People were gonna call in
because we're an essential. It was dumb. But I'm on my 2 weeks notice. I got like, I don't know.
Wait, you were on your 2 weeks notice and you came in?
Well, okay. Yeah, I showed up. So I'm on my 2 weeks notice. Number one, I'm the night manager. Number two, the other night manager is off. So I'm managing his team and my team. Here's how I managed it.
Oh boy.
I walked in. I waited for the other managers to leave their shift. So whatever it was, an hour into my shift or whatever. And I just walked up to one of my employees and says, "You're in charge," and said, "You're in charge today." And I started packing up shit. Well, where are you going? I'm leaving. I'm fucking leaving. And he goes, "But you're supposed the other manager's out there. That team's not going to listen to me." So I walked over to the other team and said, "You're in charge today." And I walked the fuck out. And the place didn't burn down. Everything worked as normal as it could because they're employed. They're not going to do anything stupid. They want to keep their fucking job. So it's not like, I've always said this. Having been a manager, I've always said, if the top of the pyramid if you just left the bottom of the pyramid of every company, the truck drivers and the people that do the actual work, and you all of a sudden you killed off all the managers all the way, the company would run just fine.
Probably just as smooth.
Just as smooth. There'd be no difference. All managers and all every company is the people at the bottom that do all the work, get the least amount of money. The step
Although,
above that are the people that watch those people. The step
although
above that are the people that watch the people that watch those people. And the step above that are the people that watch the people that watch it. All the way fucking down. All you need is the bottom half of the pyramid. Split the money.
we do have to admit, the supervisor or manager that we had when we first started the place would not run without him.
Which one? Which place?
The one we're in now.
Okay.
When we first started working there,
okay.
That's manager. If
this
he
place, yeah, the place we're working out now. I've said this too. I've even said it to that manager. That place is like the guerrilla warfare of tech support. It's not run like every other company. It's a different thing. Well, here's the other thing that I found out later is he's been there since the start of that company. In other words, our department that he runs now was just him. He made up the entirety of that department before we got there.
Wait, really?
That's what he told me.
Because there's two other people that still work there that worked there before us.
Yes.
You know the two I'm talking about.
I know exactly who you're talking about. They came in later and
really
he was their peers basically, but he was the start. He was the first. In other words, you need a tech support department. Here's this guy. That he was it. He was the entirety of that department.
Wow.
So of course,
because the way, well, this is coming from them. The way they said he came after them.
Oh,
that's what they're saying.
Okay,
I mean,
so that makes it even funnier. Because he literally told me that he literally.
However,
back in the day, it was only him.
But maybe that's the case because I know one of them was he started in a different department and then came over to
that might be
repair.
the reason. Yeah.
So, but I don't know about the other one. You know, the one who's really good at.
I'm pretty sure he started in another department too.
Oh, okay.
That might be the reason they pulled him over from, because they were doing that. They were pulling people from billing to fill up the tech support department and training them. So anyway, but
sometimes I wonder, it's like, how is this company running?
It's a little weird. The way,
I know.
It's not like we're used to. We're used to working for those bigger corporations that are, like I said, built like that pyramid. But yeah, so it's a little different. But anyway, but I'm talking about big corporations.
Oh,
big corporations, the top half of the pyramid gets. I don't just mean the top half. Everything but the ground floor gets chopped and chopped off, and the company still runs. The trucks still deliver on time. The call centers are run by the people that are actually answering the phone. Everything else is just the people that watch the people that watch the people that watch the people, the people that watch the people that watch the people that watch the people, all the way up the fucking chain. And I mean, and then if you want to pick out different departments, it's just little pyramids. It's the same it's just little pyramids that build the bigger pyramid, and the bottom floor of that. So you might say, well, you need the marketing guy. No. The marketing guy is running the sales reps. The sales reps are doing all the work. It gets so ridiculous. The further up you go, I can't tell you how. When I was a manager, all I did, my entire job, if for anybody out there doesn't know what their managers do, my entire job as a manager, this is in a tech support call center. My entire job is to take all the metrics for each person and put them in spreadsheets so they're easily readable, and then look for the ones that are failing on different metrics and talk to them about how to improve those metrics, which, by the way, most of it is just a fucking toss up of how it's going to go anyway, and listen to their calls. And in other words, all I'm doing is watching them work. And then I would have meetings with my manager, it goes employee and then supervisor and then manager. And then I would have meetings with my manager, and I would look at his paperwork, and all his paperwork is the collection of my team's numbers, that's my numbers. The collection of each other supervisor's numbers, that's their numbers. So all he's doing is putting metrics together about each supervisor. And above him is the network head or the department heads that are just making spreadsheets.
So basically,
about
what
the
you're
numbers.
saying is everything in Office Space is correct.
Yes, Office Space is yes. When that movie came out, I was like, "Oh my god, that movie, dude!" I even went when I was a manager. Okay, so this when you're this is how I knew I was getting old at that point because I walked in one day as a manager and I thought it would be funny. I printed up in a tech TPS report sheets and I put it on everybody's desk in my team. And I had all these millennials go, "What's this?" I'm like, "You
Oh my
motherfucker,
god.
just go away, get away from my desk.
Oh
Sit
my
down,
god,
sit down,
seriously.
just go sit down." And it was only like a couple of dudes that were a little. There was one dude that was older than me that looked at it, laughed, and threw it away. But every single one of the younger ones was like, "What
Oh
is this?"
boy.
And I immediately went into, "Sit down and shut up. I can't deal with you. If you don't know what that is, Google it or something."
Oh my god.
Anyway,
That's
but
Jesus.
but except for those spreadsheets, except for those numbers and stuff, I mean, the only other thing you had to do is justify what you're doing. So I would have skip level meetings with the director. I don't know if you remember who the director was in that first place we worked together.
Dude, I've forgotten everything about that place. I don't.
Yeah. Well,
I don't. Well, I mean, I don't even leave the house anymore. But I refuse to drive anywhere near that place.
yeah. Well, and so I basically had to justify my existence occasionally, and I would walk into these skip level meetings with the director, who's running the entire place. So this is the guy at the top of the pyramid that's watching the people all the way down the line, and he liked to do skip level meetings and cut out all that
Okay,
bullshit in the middle.
hang on.
Yeah,
Skip level meetings. Like, is that what they called it,
That's
or
what
is
they
that
called
what you're
it.
calling it? Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like,
Because they're
it
skipping
couldn't
all
just
the
be.
levels.
First off, even though I'm a grunt, I cannot stand being in a meeting. I will give it to my current supervisor. He keeps that shit quick and short. Like, I don't want to be here. Like, even though it's in a Zoom call now because we're all working from home, I'm like, this is. Can we just not do this?
Let me explain. Do you want to hear a
But
skip level meeting? Do you want to hear the
oh
details?
god, this okay. Let's.
Okay. So I put together all my numbers. Now I have to put together all these numbers. By the way, these are not my numbers. These are my team's numbers. This is Joe that sits next to me and Janet that sits over here and this is the report on her metrics. So I have a spreadsheet that goes out and you have to put it into little bar graphs and everything. So it looks all fanciful. Anyway,
your pretty shapes and graphs and all that shit.
And you mark the ones the metrics that they're missing in red and the stuff they're excelling on in green and blah blah blah. And you got all, and he would pick out a metric and say, okay, well, what's this? I'll just make up numbers. This employee here is, and you wouldn't even use the people's names. It would just be like a fucking number at the top. I see that number is 23 and it should be 35. What's going on? And I'd have to pull up the history of this person and say, well, if you notice, in the last 3 months, it was a 20. It's now up to a 23. So obviously it's improving. And so
this is why so many men commit suicide.
Dude,
I would literally eat a bullet if I had to do this shit. Oh my god.
You had to have an answer for every one of the things. And here's the thing. It's not my numbers. I can't improve any of it. If every fucking if I talk to each one of the agents to try and improve everything and they don't improve, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, what do I do? But here's one thing I noticed after a while, after going through these stupid meetings occasionally, after a while, what I noticed is whether I did something or didn't do something, everything stayed the same. Nothing changed.
No.
It was all I had to do was come up with something that I'm doing to improve. And as long as I had a plan of action, I was justifying my job. But once again, I'm not doing any work.
But when you started, were you a manager?
No.
Okay, so you were one of the grunts.
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
phone
yeah. I
this long.
started as a grunt.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's ask the universal question. Did you even give a fuck about any of your
No,
fucking
fuck
number?
no. I couldn't control that shit.
Did you see this number here? Yeah, you spend too much call time on this. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. I learned just okay, yes, sir. Yeah, yeah.
Dude.
I didn't give a fuck at all.
All-
I could give a
The
shit.
longer I had to look at these metrics for so long, dude, the longer you look at them, here's the thing you realize. The longer period of time you look at them. So if you look at a day's worth of metrics, they suck. You look at a week, they're better. A month, they even out over time. All of them, every single metric evens out over time. So the longer time you look at it, that's why when I walk in the meeting and he says, "Well, what is this number?" and I have to explain it. All I do is pull up all the past numbers and say, well, if you combine them all for the last 6 months, instead of looking at just this week, you'll see that you should shut the fuck up because it doesn't mean anything. But you don't say that.
But you can't say that.
No,
because then you get sent to HR, and then there goes your livelihood and your
you
life.
can't
and all
say
that
anything.
bullshit.
But that's what I did. But I also had to sit through after that. So he loved to do these skip level meetings because he'll get right down to the. So,
how long did
but
these
I had
skip
to
level
sit
meetings
there.
go on for?
Well, here's okay. They went on for a long ass time. It was basically a whole day worth of shit. Because, by the way, when you were at that job and you seen there were times there was nobody on the floor for an entire fucking day, those were those skip level meetings.
Oh my God.
So,
oh my God.
Here's the reason. So it's all of the supervisors. So me and everyone else that you knew as a supervisor, and you knew who the managers were because they sat in the middle of the fucking. They had the big cube in the middle of the pod, as they called it. Those were the managers. I had once all the supervisors were done and I did my thing. The manager had to go, and the manager, when my manager went, I was paying attention because now he's pulling up all his metrics, and his metrics are my metrics combined with everybody else. But his job is so much easier. The higher up you go, the easier it gets, because when he has to go through his shit, he has to explain my numbers. But I already fucking did that. So all he has to do is regurgitate the same shit that I said. And then when he gets to the next manager, he just regurgitates the same shit that he said. And then, by the way, there's the next level. And those people had to go. And those people went to those. And it was the opposite of shit rolling downhill. It was rose petals and flowers rolling uphill. It was so fucking stupid.
So
dude.
now let's ask the really, really most pertinent question out there.
Yeah.
When you went from a grunt to a manager, how much was your increase in pay?
Oh, dude. Yeah, it was like 10% or some bullshit.
Oh my God.
It was bullshit.
That's it. A manager.
Yeah.
And you're only making 10%.
I'm still glad I did it.
Grunt.
I'm still glad I did it at that place because
I remember when you started with us at the second job, I knew you were a manager.
Yep.
And I saw you in the training with the second job. I'm like, weren't you a manager at the other place? Why did you leave? And it's like, oh, hey, you know what's funny? I mean, I don't know if I'm sure did you get the big bump in pay raise like right before you left the first place? Because apparently when we, I guess a lot of people were leaving that place and they were freaking out. It's like, why are they leaving? Why are so many people leaving? And they found out that the second place was hiring. How much are they paying that they're all leaving? And it was like,
well, that's why I left.
Giant amount, like
dude,
massive amount.
It was a lot more money than I was making as a manager to go back to being a grunt.
Yes. And they were like, how can they afford to pay this much? It's like, because they're a fucking huge ass company.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they tried like bumping up the pay. And the head guy was like, yes, we're here at he gave this bullshit rah-rah message.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there. And because the head manager was like, I guess they really wanted me to stay. Because somebody ratted me out that I was leaving.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and he told, and I'm like, somebody fucking ratted, because the supervisor came over and he dragged me into his office. He's like, I heard you're leaving. And I'm like, who the fuck told you, man? And he's like, come to this meeting, with the head guy, and he's gonna, we think you're gonna like what he has to say. And so I was like, okay. I walked back to my guest. I'm like, and I said to myself, I was like, who the fuck ratted me out to this guy? And the guy sitting next to me is like, I'm sorry, man, I did, because we don't want to lose you. I'm like, dude, What the hell? So, I mean, technically, if you remember, they actually did pay us more than the
Yes.
second company.
Yeah.
I was
So
like, eat my ass. I'm out this place.
yeah. No, I do remember the last 2 paychecks or something were big, or bigger, but it still didn't match. It still didn't match what we're leaving for.
Mm. Well,
Um,
per hour, it was more.
I don't see.
Yeah,
Here's the other thing.
it
I
was
was
definitely,
also
it
on
was more.
salary at that point. So
Oh, you
yeah,
poor
yeah.
bastard. Wait,
Yeah.
you only got a 10% pay and they put you on salary?
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's some evil shit right there, man.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm still glad I did it because I got to see the inner workings. Because, like I said, I'm also glad this director did skip level meetings because I got to see the whole ball of wax in one day. I got to see the whole man behind the curtain is bullshit, all in a single shot on my first skip level meeting.
What, you didn't learn that from Office Space?
Well, I mean, until you see it, until you
Yeah.
actually see the man behind the curtain go and pay no attention, until you see that guy, I didn't quite understand. So when I got to the next place, when they start talking to me about metrics, I don't know. I don't think me and you were ever on the same team, but you had to see me sitting in those team meetings with a grin on my face when they start talking about this metric and that metric. I know all the metrics all the way up to the fucking top of these things. I sat there in a big company doing this shit. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's all bullshit. So after my first skip level meeting, I didn't do shit, dude. All I did was create spreadsheets it took me an hour to do, and I had to do one once a week. So an hour a week I worked as a manager. And the rest of the time, all I did was bullshit with my team. I would, dude, it literally, I'd have to pull them into. You remember the status meetings? You had to be pulled in, and they tell you about your metrics. Here's how mine literally went. Pull my guy in to the meeting. Here's your metrics. You see the red ones? Fix them. Have a good day. See the green ones? You're doing good. Attaboy. And I would literally tell without saying it, in my team meetings and in my coaching sessions, that's what they call them. In my coaching sessions, I would, without saying it, literally tell them, this is all bullshit. Just go back and do your job. It's all bullshit.
Just don't curse out. Just don't do anything
Don't do
that
anything
will
stupid.
get you fired. Don't curse out the customer. Don't hang up on them. Don't be mean. Don't be nasty. All right. If it takes you 90 minutes to fix a call, hey man, whatever.
Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. But
But
so those skip level meetings for me actually taught me I don't got to do shit. There's nothing I have to do because there's nothing you could do. For people that don't know, that don't work in a call center, we'll just take the surveys, for example. That was the big thing a lot of times.
oh God, this fucking surveys. Most of those surveys, well, at the first job, weren't even about us. They were about, why do I have to wait 50 minutes to get hold of somebody? Why was I on hold and got hold of billing? And then I got transferred to tech support.
Yeah.
Oh, they used to play them all the time. It was like, this is stupid.
Well,
man.
we had at the place I'm talking about where I was a manager, we had a third party surveying the calls. There's a third party company. So the first time I went in, I didn't understand. It took me a second. I was a little slow on this one because I went in with another manager and they're going over the calls. Of course, the ones that came in that are low scores, low quality, what do you call it? Survey scores from the customers. And I walked in there with this manager and I'm sitting with the people from that third party, that third party company. So we don't work for them. They don't work for us. They're presenting us. And he argued every single one of them with the most ridiculous arguments to the point where I'm sitting there next to him going, and I'm actually starting to correct him because it doesn't make any sense what he's saying. Like, and then he just kind of looked at me and I got it. As soon as he looked at me, I got it. All he's trying to do is get them. He's going to argue every one of them. And whichever ones he can get thrown out are now no longer part of the team's metrics.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, I'm not explaining it right, but like, okay, So, for example, there'd be a thing. So, when they fill these on that they either fill them out or it's a survey over the phone where they're pressing buttons. And then there's a part when they're pressing buttons where you can leave like a voice note. And so the person gets on the line and says some shit like, every time I call this company, I get the same shit and blah, blah, blah. And the person I spoke with was this, that, and the other. And so he goes to the people, the third party survey company. He goes, did you hear what she just said? She said every time she calls. How do you know it's my agent they're talking about? and at a certain point, she probably even used the person's name. No. She used the person's name at the end. She's talking about, yeah, okay, I'll give you that sentence. That sentence meant my agent. The ones before that, she was talking about every other agent. That's not my agent. You have to throw this survey out. And they would throw it out. They would throw it out. Dude, I thought he was being a douche. First of all, I didn't like the guy in the first place. So the fact that I'm in this meeting with him was kind of annoying to begin with. Once I saw that, I'm like, dude, you're my fucking hero. That's awesome. That was awesome. I just learned a lesson about it. He and some of the arguments he would make were just straight out retarded. That one actually makes the one I just said actually makes a little sense. Some of the other ones were straight out retarded, but his reasoning is, hey, I'm going to argue every fucking one of them. I don't care. I'm going to make it as uncomfortable as possible in this room so even if I'm wrong on every one, if there's 10 of them and I'm wrong on every one of them, just the fact that I'm being a dick, they're going to give me 2 and throw them out just to get me out of the fucking room. I still didn't like the guy after that, but I did admire him for that.
But, now that we're approaching, extreme adult age, we should, everybody keeps saying it's like you're supposed to climb the corporate ladder and be supervisors and managers. Would you ever? Like, I'll tell you right now, I don't ever want to be anybody in charge. F that, screw you. Dude, I don't care.
I love the fact that I was a manager for a little while. And the reason I love it is it gave me the knowledge I needed coming back down to this level to not give a fuck. Like, just knowing what happens at the top, I'm just like, all right, none of this means a goddamn thing. The metrics don't mean anything. Not that the metrics don't mean anything. Metrics mean something to the people at the top, but at our level, you can't control a single one of them. There's no controlling them. You can't control what they're going to say on the surveys. You can't. All you can do is do your job, and that's it. It's not like here's the other thing at that other job. The reason I got promoted at that first job, and the reason I was doing good at the next job after that, is there was a time when I'm trying to climb the corporate ladder. I'm trying to get, trying to better myself. It's just so much easier to just do your fucking job
and not give a fuck.
Not give a fuck.
Not give
As a manager, I used to get. They expected you to get. You're on salary. You're not getting paid for overtime. They would call you on weekends. Oh, boss, so and so. Oh my God, dude.
You need to care about your employees. You need to think about their sensitivity. You need to contain your employee. Fuck them. Dude, I don't give a shit.
I'll tell you what, my fucking employees loved my ass. I was still talking to half of them when I left. I was trying to get them a job at the place we were at. All my employees, they loved me because I didn't give anybody shit. Never gave anybody shit. Didn't care. You had one manager that gave you shit because he wanted you to take your backpack off your desk.
Oh my God,
he made a big fucking stink.
Seriously. Like I couldn't, I'm like, mind you, I mean, you know me, I'm not one to spend money on shit, but that backpack was a Christmas gift from my brother. It was like a $200 backpack because it was Ducati, that it pretty much Ducati is the Lamborghini of motorcycles. So he spent a lot of money on that backpack. I wasn't going to put it on the dirty ass floor. Dude. And what was the big deal about putting it on the desk? Dude. Women had all their purses on the desk. Dude, and he made such a goddamn stink about him. Like,
once again, I held his position at the previous job. When you told me that, I'm like, why would anybody ruin their own day to fight that battle.
Seriously.
Why would, dude?
But let's tell the best part. He said, "Go home." So I had to go home, thinking that I was going to get paid for the rest of the day. They looked into it,
Yep.
and it was like even the upper manager, whoever made the decision, was like,
Yep.
"This is the dumbest fucking reason that you've sent the person home," because I guess the union fought for it, and they paid me for the rest of the day.
It's not like you weren't doing your job. It's not like you
Mhm.
were doing your job poorly. It's not like anything. He just decided to pick on some random thing. That's the dude.
Well, first off, the dude was short. He was probably like 5'5". So clearly you could tell immediately that he's one of those
dude,
dudes
I'm
that's like,
short. I don't
what?
do that shit.
I'm not saying you, but there are people out there who's like, I'm the supervisor. I'm the big chief now. You're going to do what I tell you to do and what I say, because as far as you know, I am God. And I'm just like, man,
dude,
fuck off. I'm
that's
shit bigger than you.
no, dude. That's a dude that can't say boo at home. That's a dude that takes out all his frustrations on the people that
part of
work
it
under
also.
him.
Because clearly at home, he's like,
dude, I'm
I
short.
guarantee you he got pegged at home. I guarantee it.
It has to be some other reason, because there's no reason why anybody would pick that fight. There's no reason for it. Let's say it was an issue. Let's say I'm your manager and it's an issue. And like my manager's complaining about your fucking book bag being on the desk. Let's say it's an actual issue I need to address. I would walk up and say, dude, fucking so-and-so's giving me shit. Can you just put this somewhere so it's out of sight?
And
that would be the end of it.
If he did that, I'm like, oh shit, man, my bad. And I would put it like I would have opened my one of my drawers that we had, and I would have dumped it in there. Like, all right. But
Dude,
he's like, put the bag on the floor. I'm like, fuck you.
Dude, yeah. I would talk like that to my employees, to the point where I was like, we didn't have I don't know how else to term this. In the other place, we had people that monitored the inbound calls. At the other place, it was the same thing. And I would get reports from them, and I'd have to talk to my agents. And I would literally say, look, so-and-so's being a fucking cunt. Just like, you know what I mean? Like, that's all you have to say is, look, you're causing me problems. So and people would do it because they don't want to cause any problems. They just want to do their job and be left alone. That's all I want out of my job, my current job. Just leave me the fuck alone. I'm doing my job.
I know.
I'm doing my job.
Not at that second place, man.
I know.
Like the original supervisors that we had when we started that
at
place
the beginning
were
the first
amazing.
2 years.
They were like you.
Oh
Man, just do your job. Just just don't get me in trouble and so on. But the supervisors that replaced them, holy
dude, the first
Christ,
2
man.
years, maybe 3 years, were fucking amazing.
They were. I'm like, this is the best.
Yep.
This is great. When we went on, how do I say this? When we went on leave,
okay,
where the whole company worldwide went on leave.
I don't know
what I mean.
I don't know. I mean, there were many companies in this
that went
have
on
gone on
leave.
strike. You can say strike.
That was amazing. Like I've never been on strike before. I'm like,
I know.
And we're like,
so much fun. Dude, I'll tell you what that turned into. I'll tell you what that turned into for everyone. For me and everybody else, what that turned into is now the people running the strike were having to deal with the same piece of shit employees, because everyone was trying to get out of strike duty. What do you mean you want me to pace back and forth in front of this store in the sun?
I was enjoying it. I was having fun with it.
I was with everybody else trying to get out of it. I was coming up with reasons. Oh, I sprained my ankle the other day. I showed up to a bunch of them, but the amount of time they wanted us to, dude, we're not getting paid. I'm not getting paid. I don't want to look, the strike. The fact that we're not showing up to work, is that enough? Isn't that enough?
But I was sad that it only lasted for like,
I know
it was short.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I was enjoying this. It's like,
well, but the people with kids, that's the thing. Going back to the original part of this video,
they told
those
us,
motherfuckers.
They said, save your money. So what I do? I mean, I was making hand over fist. Like I was making so much money. I didn't even know what to do with it. So it just sat in my bank account and so on. And I'm like, okay, everything, I'll be fine for like a good year. Like I was good for a year. with all my bills. Like I
But
calculated all my
that's
bills, and I was
going
good for a year.
going back to the original thing that we did in the beginning of this video with the guy version of that video. My company went out on strike because I have kids. I couldn't enjoy it.
My company went on strike. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like a wet vacation. I'm like, this is great. Oh, that was another thing. Let's go. Well, I guess you never got suspended and so on, but apparently they found well, there was the one we were talking about, the one that busted my chops for the bag,
Yes.
and there was the supervisor before him.
Uh-huh.
Both of them looked for any reason to suspend me, and I'm like,
yeah, that dude
at
had
first,
a hard on for you for some
yeah,
reason.
I don't know, whatever. But at first, they were suspending me for 2 weeks. Well, no, yeah, for a week. I'm like, so wait, I don't come into work? No, you can't come into work until this day. And I'm not fired for this? No. So it's a vacation. It's not a vacation, but I don't have to be into work. Yes, you can't come into work. So it's a vacation. All right, peace out. I'm like, how is this a bad thing? Like, I don't have kids. I don't have a family. Again, I was making so much money that the money would just sit in
Dude,
my
not only
bank
that,
account.
it was
amazing.
It was a union job. So not only that, after the suspension, most people got their back pay back for that suspension.
I never got my back pay because I never even I didn't care.
Yeah,
But then it started going to 2 weeks, and I'm like, wait, so I'm suspended again? I got 2 weeks off?
Yeah.
They kept getting. He got so mad. You could see the smoke coming out of his ears, like he's trying to get me. Like, oh, you got to do what I say. What they wanted me, I guarantee you, what he wanted was for me to beg him, like, oh no, please don't suspend me.
That dude's life has to be miserable.
Oh, no doubt.
Has to be.
Doubt.
That dude's in hell in his personal life. There's no reason why he would think that that's a normal thing to bring. Dude, I don't.
Dude,
when I'm at work,
it got to the point where I was being suspended for 4 months. And I'm like, and at first when he said this day to this day, I'm like, wait, that's so I've got a whole month off. And he's like, you seem to be very excited every time you get suspended. I'm like, dude, you're giving me time off. Like, what are you doing?
You can't fire me for being excited, dude. So fuck off. Yeah, fuck that dude. That dude, like I said, his life has to be miserable.
One time
That's
with the other guy, the second guy, I came to work on my motorcycle knowing full well that I was going to get suspended. And when I came into the office, I came in with everything. So I didn't want to go to my desk because I learned, don't keep anything at your desk.
Yeah.
Leave it bare empty. So I had my everything. I brought everything into the office, and they wanted to go through this whole rigmarole about trying to shame me about everything that I did that was going to cause me to get suspended. And it got to the point, it was like, can we just speed this up? I'm on my motorcycle. I know I'm going to get suspended. I brought my bike so I can go riding. Can we just speed this up, please? I'm out of here. Okay. And they were like, no, they got it. I'm like,
And here's the thing, that first 2, 3, maybe even 4 years at that place with the managers that we all loved, all the metrics were the same. I guarantee you, none of the metrics changed between the 2 different regimes. They were all the same. One of them we fucking enjoyed. Nobody ever got suspended. Everybody did their fucking job. And it was fucking peaceful. It was peace and love.
It was an amazing job.
There was like one manager in the entire place that was a prick. But he wasn't even on the floor. He was somewhere else doing some other shit, some training shit. But everybody else was cool, and everything ran smooth. All of a sudden, these other douchebags come in. It had to come from the top. It had to come from that new director. I guarantee you, none of the metrics changed. They did all that shit, made the place a miserable fucking place, and none of it changed. And here's the other reason I know that. But when the other regime was in there, they were putting you in different projects in the email project and all that stuff because you were doing a good job. So to take someone, and I had the same issue, to take somebody that was doing a good job and make them into a bad employee. By the way, forcing him into that position for suspending him for bullshit.
Well, my favorite
Uh,
part about that whole thing was when we left, we kind of left in the same 2, 3 months.
Mhm.
And another guy that we know left around the same time I did. So I thought it was just the three of us that left.
yeah, so did I.
Then when you start hearing people, it's like, no, 20 people left.
Yep.
And in an office where there was only 100 people, that's
Mhm.
20% of your workforce walking out the door because they're just sick of this shit. Like
Dude.
your buddy Onivaz. That story was hilarious.
Dude, he walked
Oh
the
my
fuck out.
God.
Dude. And
Because
that wasn't even
Onivaz worked in the same
Yep.
company for what? How
Yep.
long did he last for? A week, maybe?
He
After
was like
training?
no, after training, a week.
Yeah.
So he got paid for the entire training, whatever, 6 weeks of training. And then a week after
Oh,
being dude,
that
it was
was
so ridiculous. And
that
I
was
didn't find out
hilarious.
until this podcast. You told me on this podcast that director got his ass fired after
Oh,
we
yeah.
left because of the amount of people that left.
Well, I
Here's
don't know if he got fired. I just know that he was
he
no
had to
longer working
he
there,
had to be moved out of that
or that,
position or
or
whatever.
he was forced, and so on.
Yes.
And I'm
Yeah.
starting to wonder because I remember when I abandoned the job.
Mhm.
I just said, I'm not, I just called out sick. They're like, you don't have enough sick days. I'm like, no, I called in sick, left a voicemail that I'm calling in sick. They called me back. I'm like, I'm not picking up the fucking phone. And they're
Yeah.
like, you don't have enough days to call out
Yeah,
sick,
yeah, yeah.
or enough working days to call out sick. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm fired. I'm not coming into work anymore. And they kept leaving me voicemails like, you don't have enough work days to call out sick. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, then I'm
Uh-huh.
fired. All right. So
Yeah.
what?
Uh-huh.
Then they sent the oh my God, the person that does the attendance and the union rep came knocking on my door. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I haven't showered in like a week, man, because I just became lazy. I'm like, this is awesome. Because again, I had so much money saved up. I did it. I took like a good 2 months off from
Dude,
working
they
just
fuck
to rest my head and so on. They're like knocking on my door. They call my cell phone. I'm like, dude, I'm not picking up. And it's like, hello, this is me from the union and the so and so from the attendance. So we'd really like to speak to you. And mind you, this was a week later. Like I should be gone and fired. Like,
Yeah.
why are you guys still bugging me for?
Dude, they took good employees and turned them into shit. And that's why dude, I don't know about you. I don't know how your stuff was, but I just assume, just having seen what, like I said, they would put you on these different projects. They don't do that for people, the original managers. They don't do that for people that have shit metrics. They want if they're going to put you on a project, they want the project done. So they trust you. So obviously you had good metrics, you were a good employee, you were doing your job. Dude, I was acting manager on the weekends because they didn't want to come in on the weekend. So they had me, and I did the same thing I did at the other place as a manager. I just like, do what you got to do. Like all I was there to do was make sure nobody lit the place on fire. But the point is, I was, I don't know, top of the fucking food chain in terms of every metric they had as a good employee. And they ran me the fuck out of there. They ran you the fuck out of there. A bunch of other people that were like
Like they say,
ones that were doing the job.
When a company starts going to shit, there's the canaries in the coal mine, the first ones to leave.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember another thing that sent everybody pissy. Like, this was again with the new regime. Remember when we first started there? They were like, whatever, wear whatever you want. You don't see the customer.
Yeah.
We don't care. We
Yeah,
used to come in with shorts, t-shirts,
just don't have your
nobody
fucking
cared.
testicles hanging out.
Yeah, that was it. And then all of a sudden, with the new regime, they're like, oh, everybody's got to wear long pants. Everybody's got to wear a collared shirt. I'm like, fucking really?
We're not customer facing.
Seriously.
There's no one. We're not visible to anybody besides the people in this building that are working. There's no reason for there to be a dress code.
Oh, and when you were working the weekends, because I remember there was some weekends that I did work, they would have no managers there. So when there were no managers in there, people would come in with shorts and everything and t-shirt. Because why am I going to work on a Saturday
I got
and one of the supervisors came in and he's like, I just came in because I felt I should have to.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's a King Kong douche.
Yeah, that's it. Dude, go enjoy your weekend. By the way, most of the time when you say there was no managers, I was the manager that day.
I know, that's what I meant.
I just sat there.
But
I
you
didn't
weren't
do
the
anything.
manager.
The only thing I was there to do is maybe break up a fight if it happened. Like this, all I
was
did was sit there.
Was there ever a fight in that place? I don't
No, I'm
remember.
just saying
Okay.
that's the point. There was nothing for me to do as a manager, which is why, once again, I'll go back to it. There's no reason to have them. You
I
have
don't
employees. You have
They
metrics
know
for
what
those
they need to
employees.
do. They know what they
That's it.
need to do. We don't
You don't
need
need it.
you standing over me telling me
No.
what to do.
No. By the way, most people, when they're supervised like that with the fucking douchebag sitting over their shoulder and complaining about what's on your desk and what you're wearing, they turn good employees into bad employees. They do the opposite of what they're there to do. All you have to do is literally not do dick. Just be there in case somebody has a question. That's all your fucking job is. Stop being so self-important, making your job more than it is. You're just there so that the people above you can blame you if something happens.
But that's just it. That ego. They want to, I'm important and I'm gonna show these peons that I am important. It's like, man, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, the first place we worked, all the managers were cool in the first place we worked too, but the job was bad.
Yeah.
It was like the people above them were, I mean, it was just they would scrutinize every little, it didn't make any sense, some of the shit they did at that first. Anyway, we're going over time, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure how entertaining this is for other people.
Oh, I'm sure there are people who work in the corporate office. I'm like,
yeah.
Don't remind me how shitty my life is,
dude.
Shit, like corporate. Oh, god damn it, man. That it's horrible. Like if you could you possibly work every day where you had to have a button down shirt and a tie every single fucking day?
No.
Oh, god damn it, man.
No.
Like, I don't know how those people do that every day, driving to the like, I know I when I grew up, there were people, with fathers who used to go into the city every single day. And it's like an hour and a half ride, whether you drive, take the train, even with the ferry, it's about an hour to an hour and a half, even with the bus. It's like, how do you do that every single fucking day? I would fuck you, man.
Yeah. Money, I guess. Dude,
There's not enough money on the like, dude,
But
let's be real. Let's be real. With our knowledge, even as basic as we are, we could get a job and make six figures in the city easily.
True.
Easily.
True.
Would you do it?
No.
Not I don't know about
okay.
you.
Let me answer
Me,
that
not in a
question.
million fucking years.
Let me answer that question with a duh, because I can do it and I'm not doing it. So
say it. Like it,
I don't understand the people that live in the city, god damn it. Why do you want your rent to be that fucking high?
Just the amount of savages in the city, man.
Ugh.
Like every time I go to the city and I come back, I feel like I have to you ever see Outbreak when they do the shower and to disinfect everything? That's what I feel like I have to do every time I come back from the city. I burn my clothes. I Lysol everything, my bag and everything, my shoes. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. You just feel so grimy when you come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm doing that every day in a suit and a tie. I'm like, oh my God.
To sit in an office in a cubicle and do shit work. And anytime I see when you see those businessmen in the suit with the secretary and the assistant and all that stuff, every time I see them, I just think those motherfuckers don't do a goddamn thing. That secretary's doing all the fucking work, and she's making shit pay.
People watch that show. Oh God, what was it called? It was about the advertising company with Dom Draper. I forget the name of it.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter. But everybody's like, it glorified this, like, oh, this is so awesome. It's like bullshit, man. Or like the Wolf of Wall Street when everybody's doing coke. That's like if it was like that, dude, drag me into the office every day. But it's not.
I didn't see the Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh
really.
My God.
I know.
Dude.
But anyway.
Probably everybody says like, oh, if you like Wolf of Wall Street, you didn't get the message. I don't care. It was a funny movie. It was a great movie. And if I could work in a place like that where, I'm not talking about stocks and shit, but if the office was like that, where everybody's just having fun like that, man, because let's be real, working in an office sucks a dick, man. You
Yeah,
can't have fun. You can't joke around. You can't, because even in the place that we worked at now,
Dude,
when we were laughing as the repair department, we were laughing as a joke. Oh, I wish I could just joke all day. It's like, man, fuck off and mind your own fucking business, you fuckheads.
yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't know. I will say this. With our pay the way it is now and our shitty pay increase that we got recently and the shitty pay increases that we've gotten throughout the years, I got to tell you, the price of bread is making a fucking dent.
I
You
know.
understand what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah, I
I'm
know.
staying in this job a shitload longer than I've stayed in any job
Oh yeah,
based on the shit that's going to, because I'm working from
from
home.
home. Yes.
I'm willing to
That's-
give up so much comfort.
Well,
So much.
think about
I'll
it.
buy the brand X bread just so I could work from home.
How much money are we saving working from home on gas and
True.
going out and all
True.
that shit? So
But
that's
it's
technically a pay raise right there. But
true.
even still, just
But still, dude, the price of everything these days, they're gonna have to start coming up, or I'm gonna be stuck going to an office. I'm not gonna be able to afford to work from home eventually. The way
oh
shit's
god,
going. Jesus. Like I mean, I have a mortgage. You don't have a fucking mortgage, so I don't know. So I do look at my paycheck sometimes and I'm like, I think of leaving based on that paycheck. And if I had to drive into the office every day, I would have left fucking years ago.
oh yeah.
But the fact that I'm working from home
Working
has
from
kept
home is
me
like
in this place a lot longer.
mm-hmm.
But anyway.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah. We'll end it at that.
Yeah.